This is not good. So, wouldn't happen now, but let me see if I can find it. In December, so not very, that's the same year, they got there in July. In December, the regiment lost its band. The musicians grew sick of army life, and by special order of the War Department, left Camp Griffin on December 15th, just as they had enlisted, en masse. So they all got on the train, came in. Exactly, very short stint. Now, George Fisk was one of the prominent pattern makers of his time, and he also was actually a really good civil engineer. So he was working on some waterways and things like that, and figuring those things out. Well, this is Nathan Meeker. Nathan Meeker is the founder of the Union Colony, which is now Greeley, and this is Horace Greeley, who is the editor-in-chief of the New York Tribune. And Nathan Meeker says, "I want to go west." If you hear "go west," young man, this is them. And so he goes to Horace Greeley and says, "I want to start a utopian society in the West at the confluence of these two rivers, which today we know as the Poudre and the Platte, which is in Greeley." And Horace Greeley said, "Okay, I'll give you some money to start this." And Greeley was one of the few places, well, it was the Union Colony at the time, one of the few places in the entire United States where you had to apply to be part of the community. So we have what are called the Nathan Meeker letters, and you had to be rich, and you had to have some sort of a skill or a trade. And you had to write a letter that was your application to be accepted to come with the caravan to Greeley at the time. And so there are all these letters from different people. Well, George Fisk was one of the few who was asked and didn't have to apply because of his skills. He was also making furniture at the time, and this is actually the original letter. This is the call for people to apply to become part of the community that was published in the New York Tribune on October 15th, 1870. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Greeley was supposed to be a utopian society, so culture was really important to them. And many people now think, well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, like culture, Greeley, like this. But at the time, they actually had 3 of the country's premier opera houses. They had a lot of art. I mean, it was really, and it was one of the stops on the railroad, and we'll talk about that in a second. But Denver, no one even knew what Denver was up until the later 1800s. In fact, the train went from Cheyenne to Eaton to Greeley, down to Colorado Springs, through Pueblo, and then that's how you got to California. So most of the people that I'm talking about probably stopped at Union Station at some point here in Pueblo on their way on the vaudeville circuit to California.
Okay. What year again?
So this, let's see here, this year is, 1870, yeah. Rescue the perishing. This is one of the ones that's like care for the dying and, do that kind of stuff. Really, really important. And these are the most, so when they come in the caravan, and George Fisk follows them, this is 1870, and these are the 2 most popular pieces. One is the most popular piece in the United States, Rescue the Perishing, and then Le Régiment de Saint-Émile is the one for Europe, which this is actually during one of the French revolutions that's happening. So. Rescue the Perishing. And this is Le Régiment Saint-Émile. And this one I'm actually going to play on this one. So you'll get to see how this early Fisk sounds. And you'll be able to tell the difference in the tone. It's already a step up. Not great, but it's a step up.